Donald Trump is the BMF. Can you expand on that?
There's a lot of bad motherfuckers out there, but none like Donald Trump. In my opinion, Donald Trump is the ultimate OG of bad motherfuckers.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to one of the gamest individuals in combat sports, the original BMF, and the founder of Gamebred, Bare Knuckle MMA, Jorge Masvidal. Jorge, very good to see you. Big show this weekend. What are you most excited about?
Obviously, the World Championship. This fight is a rematch. The first fight was great. Now they both got a lot better. The fighters are both matured a lot. They're both just meaner than they ever were. And now the rematch is bare knuckle. Randy Costa's freaking explosive, man. You know, does unorthodox things. Kicks when he's supposed to punch and punch when he's supposed to kick, and he's spinning back kick and has good timing, good distance. But his opponent, and they've already had their time in the cage, is no slouch, where it's like this dude just gets stronger every round, every minute. His gas gets a little bit better. He keeps pushing forward a little bit longer. He starts to wear guys out, take the best that you got to give him, and then, he starts to dish out that punishment. It's a lot of finishes. He breaks a lot of guys down mentally. But this is bare knuckle. Can he take that much damage from Randy Costa like that? If he doesn't try to impose that style, it's going to be very interesting. Every day I'm flip-flopping who wins that fight. But all I know is that the fans win that fight. And that's probably going to be fight of the night, fight of the year type shit, man.
I was in the building. I think you were in the building when Kevin Lee did that head kick on Gregor Gillespie. I think Trump was in the building. Yeah. That was a legendary night. What do you think of Kevin Lee and his trajectory, man? Is there a Rocky story here?
There's a lot of stories in Kevin Lee. I think he's 32 years old. He's still young. He has a lot to do. I did some great stuff later on in my life. Alex Pereira is 37 right now. Randy Couture, what he did. There's a lot of guys that have fought. Glover, Teixeira. There's a lot of guys. He's young. He's a young 32. But it's a tough field, man. It takes more than just being a great athlete and tough and athletic and knowing the stuff to climb that mountain is tough, and people think it's easy, but it's not. It's very hard to get there, but he's a guy that has the tools and the athleticism that he could get there, and stay there. We've also got some very tough matches from at GFC at Gamebred Bare Knuckle. This is just his first fight, and if he does well and he keeps winning, I mean, we're going to have him in the title contention, We're going to try to hold on to Kevin Lee as much as we can and get the biggest fights we possibly can from him. There's some good fights for him in the future if he can get past his very tough opponent, veteran Sal Almeida. And it's going to be a great fight, brother. It's going to be a good one. We need to see where Kevin Lee's at, how he's been training. He's serious. He's not more serious than bare knuckle. You smell that iron, that blood in the air. Your brain starts to switch off and like, hey, bro, this is real life shit. You might be beating up the guy, but then as soon as you get hit, as soon as you feel that fucking bone on bone shit, you might, whimper out, So it's very different when they take the gloves off. So can't wait, man.
Bare knuckle fighting is centuries old. It's as old as man. But now with what you're doing, you're bringing it to modern fans, and then BKFC. Conor says
modern rules.
Yeah, Connor says BKFC is the most entertaining. Do you think Gamebred's taking it another level? Do you think it's more interesting?
I don't watch bare knuckle boxing. I give a fuck less. I watch boxing. But bare knuckle MMA is something that I fucking love. It's the rawest form of combat. That's how combat started. This is not in bare knuckle boxing is not necessarily bare knuckle boxing, because the rules are different. They have the clinch, they have the rounds are different. So it's a new sport. It's a new thing. And think whatever you want, it's a new thing. My thing is like the rawest form of combat. This is MMA. So what are you good at fighting? Okay, cool. Bring it to the table. None of this you can't kick, can't, elbow, can't. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's exciting, That guy's so jacked up off coke. Who knows what the fuck he finds exciting? I care less. I just know that come November 15th, I got the most violent show on the planet, guaranteed. And every time somebody tunes into a show, it's like convicted felon fan for life, man. It's just we're growing at a rate that's impressive and crazy. So I always want to thank to all my fans, not just my fans, but the fans of the promotion, the fans of the movie, because it's not me or any one post that I could do. It's what the fighters are doing it, and the people are loving it. What the fighters are doing it, and it's just marrying so well. Because our hits last time we had over 3 million views for the JDS versus Alan Belcher. The event before that was the same thing. And our first event that we had kicked off for Nelson versus Dylan Klegler also did amazing with 3 million views. So it's just like we're getting a steady amount of views and very fast. We're putting the video out 24 hours later because we're putting it on other platforms and stuff first. And within 4 hours, we're over 1 million views already. So there's definitely a movement there. There's definitely something that the people like that they can't find nowhere else, only but one place. So I ain't worried about no other fucking organization.
And what about the comeback? A lot of people very excited. Where are we with that? Have you spoken to Dana? Like, is that happening?
It's happening. We've been talking to UFC for a minute. We already got some things on the way, but we don't have a date, opponent, location, and we're just playing it by ear, figuring things out. What date will be best for us.
Cowboy says he's coming back too, but Dana says he doesn't want to see that. Is he more keen to see you come back than Cowboy? Because he didn't fancy it.
I think the way I've been knocked out one time in the UFC, and Cowboy's gotten his bell rung a couple of times. So I can see why maybe Dana's a little hesitant towards Cowboy and not hesitant towards me. But I don't know. I'm not nowhere to judge either if Cowboy comes back or not.
In 2019, you versus McGregor was the biggest fight to make in combat sports. Didn't happen. Sounds like you don't think he's coming back, but you versus McGregor and bare knuckle or in the UFC, could that be a thing?
The only thing that guy's coming back to is his coke dealer, but I could care less about this guy. I don't like fantasy fight in my head. I'm not gonna fight with somebody that's not in even the testing pool and the fighting pool. I'm here to fight real guys that are gonna show up and fight them. So I give a fuck less about this leprechaun.
Who impresses you then? What kind of fights at welterweight would be cool?
Man, right now ain't a name sticking out over another one. Just sit down with the UFC and get that ball rolling, see what they want to do, see where I could make most sense for myself, and go from there. But for right now, only thing on my mind is November 15th, the most violent show on earth. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. 12 UFC veterans, 11 fights. It's nothing but action, my brother. And then after that, I'll start thinking about who I'll fight. But right now, I kind of like to do one thing at a time. And right now, it's just a promotion. Go as hard as we can there. Give these guys as much exposure as we have. We're talking about Kevin Lee. Another good guy we have on there is Guto, a convicted killer from Brazil. This guy is a problem. 5-time national Brazilian champion, 2-time world champion. This dude is a problem, man. He's fucking big. He's athletic. And my favorite part is that he's fucking mean. He's trying to hurt people. He's trying to take them out. He's trying to fucking break their fucking leg when he's kicking it. He's kicking through it. And he's fighting no slouch. He's fighting another Muay Thai 2-time Brazilian national champ in MMA. So this fight's just going to be amazing. They both have a good amount of MMA fights. Guto has like under 20. His opponent has around like 12 fights. So it's going to be one of these fights that people will remember for a while. I can't wait. And I really think both of these guys, but especially mainly the winner of this, is going to make splash in the MMA community. Guaranteed. And, after winning that, we're also having contention to fight JDS for the heavyweight title. So we're very interested in how this fight goes, how the Chase Sherman versus Maurice Green fight goes. Chase is on a 2-fight win streak for us with 2 knockouts. Just everything you could hope for that the promoter will want. The guy just shows up and does his fucking job. No matter how hard it is, he's going to get in there and throw the heat, whether he's getting it or giving it. So big shout out to matchmaking on this fucking card because it's insane. It's fucking epic. We got Charles Rosa. I don't know how many fights. I'm not exaggerating, but I think he's like 8 or 9-time UFC fight of the night winner. This guy's taking off the gloves. This guy's a submission machine and a fucking striking fucking knockout karate type motherfucker. So it's gonna be another fucking great fight. We got Curtis Melinda on the card as well. I mean, we're stacked from top to bottom. We're fucking stacked.
People always intrigued by those heavyweights. Were you impressed with Francis last weekend? Who do you think's the baddest man on the planet right definitely now?
If it's not Francis, I mean, he might have got knocked out by Anthony Joshua and all that, but if it's a fight, like, bro, forget about it. You're dead. Francis will fucking fold his kneecap, take him down, break his fucking rotator cuff, Kimura the fuck out of him. Francis is a beast. He's a problem. Hen is a teammate of mine. See him train all the time. The guy was right, man. The guy was fucking more than ready to become a world champion and step up to Ngannou. But hats off to them and their coaching staff. They used their abilities. They took him down. They put this guy where he's not comfortable type real estate and took full advantage of it. great game planning, and it's just good to see Ngannou though to win. He's been through a lot, and it's good to see him win. I definitely think that the winner of John Jones versus Miltovic should be fighting Ngannou, right? That's just what I think, man. But the fuck do I know?
It's so many big fights happening this weekend alongside yours. I mean, we've got Topuria, Holloway. Do you like that fight? You excited for that? Will you check it out? Who's going to win?
Oh my gosh. If I could be there live, I'd be there live, man. I've been talking about Elias since his first second UFC fight. Been telling everybody this guy's gonna be a world champion. A good friend of mine to this day. Love this fucking kid. He's just a good kid, bro. And Max, one of my favorite fighters of all time. Literally, one of my favorite fighters. In and out of the cage, I love this guy. I think he's nothing but fucking stand up. Just a great dude, bro. And the way that he fights, I fucking love it, man. What a fight, bro. That's a fight that I want to miss. If it wasn't all the way over there and I wasn't busy all the way over here, I'd 100% be there. If it was anywhere else but Saudi Arabia, which I would like to go over there, but it's just, man, it's a hike for me, man. It's a long one. So it's the only reason why I'm not there physically at that fight, but I really wanted to be live for that.
I feel like we got every end of the spectrum, including 58-year-old Mike Tyson against 27-year-old Jake Paul. What do you make of it?
I'll be watching to an extent, I guess, but I don't know if you know the rules of the format. If you know like what's happening, how it is, the rounds, the gloves. Is it an exhibition? Is it a pro match? Do you know?
The specifics, I've heard different rumors. I heard like there was some knockout clause that's got me skeptical.
What's the knockout clause?
Well, I don't know, like you can't knock him out.
Well, then, I mean, I'm not watching. And then if on either side there's a clause like that, like there's no knocking out each other. I mean, what? It makes
Yeah.
no sense to me.
I think that's well, as you've already demonstrated, there's a lot more real and violent shows happening. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's not my
I mean, we
personal
got a
cup of
stacked
tea.
card, bro. Yeah, we got a stacked card. I'm sure that's gonna draw heat and stuff, but you know, I don't know if it's gonna keep the heat. 'Cause if you tune in, it's like a little boring, this and that. It's like you're not gonna want to keep watching. And if there's a clause of no knocking out, and it's already like they're not getting after it, like I don't know how true that clause is or not, but I'm
Yeah,
just
sorry,
saying like
that's
as a
just
fan,
something I heard somebody say.
yeah.
I don't know.
If there's a clause like that, I don't know. It's crazy.
So Dana White, you're the original BMF. Dana White says Donald Trump is the BMF. Can you expand on that?
Donald Trump is the only and forever BMF. There's a lot of bad motherfuckers out there, but none like Donald Trump. I'll tell you a little something about myself. I fight for me, my children, my mom, my dad, my wife, some family members, and some good old friends. That's it. Donald Trump, that motherfucker, he fights for me. He fights for you. He fights for anybody that has a fucking dream in this country, anybody that believes in the American experiment, anybody that fucking knows what it's like to struggle and then come to this country and risk it all and thrive off this great system. That's a real bad motherfucker. So, in my opinion, Donald Trump is the ultimate OG of bad motherfuckers. Like, I might be a bad motherfucker, but Trump is all in his own league. What he's doing for this country, literally took a fucking bullet for this country. And he's still out there like nothing. Like, it wasn't with him. Like, they shot at somebody else. He's out there fucking, yo, here, listen to this. And he's fighting corruption. We see it now. I think the public is finally more open to all the corruption this guy's been putting up with since 2016. His first day in office in 2016, he had a fucking $41 million investigation, Russian collusion. It's like crazy, bro. They do whatever the fuck to this guy, but they can't stop him. They can't take him down. Why? Because he's rocking with God, man. And Trump's the OG of OGs, bro. No, he's the heavyweight supreme being champion, bro. Ain't nobody fucking with him, man.
I heard he's going on Rogan on Friday. Like, as terms of legendary podcasts go, is that going to tip things over the edge? Like, what do you expect from that?
Tell you the truth, man. I don't really know people voting for fucking Kamala. Like, I might know a couple, but then you start to talk to them, it ends up being more like, I'm just not gonna vote, man. And it's like, it's weird, bro. The only way I've been saying this since like 2020, after they stole that one, the only way they're gonna win is if they seal it, man. That's it. Why is there a fucking law specifically stating in some states that you do not need to show voter ID, and we have the biggest crisis of immigrants coming in illegally in the history of this country. And people like Tim Walz are trying to give those same illegal immigrants driver's licenses, jobs as like police, firefight, like all these things. Like you're really gonna circumvent American tax-paying, naturalized citizens. For somebody that just came over here and illegally hopped the fence or however it is they got here, it's not right. It's not cool. And you should definitely not be able to vote. That's like if I just fucking took a trip right now to Brazil and I fucking voted in their election. What the fuck do I know about their way of life down there? What's actually good and bad for them? That takes some time, right? So I definitely feel that they're gonna steal this election, bro.
Last time I saw you was Roberto Duran was there. We had
Roberto
Rogan, The
Duran,
Rock, and Dana White. And I think the only dude that Dana and Joe Rogan would ask for a picture was Roberto Duran. What does that guy mean to you?
legend, bro. Legend in all ways. I read his book when I was young. I found out who he was too when I was young, and I was so captivated by this dude. I was just like, wow, look at this motherfucker, way worse conditions than me, and made it to superstardom. Was able to push for his family and do his thing, and now he's one of the greatest that ever lived. So me personally, my favorite fighter of all times, especially from the boxing side. His whole story, his character, his upbringing, everything. So many similarities. Um, I love this dude. He's the best for me. So there's not a real fighter in the world walking around the planet that if you don't see Duran, you're not gonna ask him for a picture because he is the fighter's fighter. He is as mean as it gets. He is as fucking diligent and just one of the meanest motherfuckers that ever lived. Period in combat sports. And anybody that knows anything about fighting, unless you're some fucking straight retard casual, you know who Duran is, and that's the fucking legend right there, man.
So to wrap it up, you fought in the streets, you fought for the BMF, fought in the UFC, the highest level. Now you're a founder, Gamebred. You got a book, Born to Fight. What's left on your bucket list, man?
Brother, I'm coming back harder than ever. Been training ready for a minute. Boys in shape. I'm gonna come back either end of this year, next year. Opponent, time, location, we don't know yet. But someone is going to sleep, brother. We in here, man. We training. I want to get back. I want to compete. This boxing stuff really got me out of my comfort zone in different ways, and I just said, bro, I want to compete. And I was moving right. I was doing good things. I was living a very clean life over there in Vegas. So I just said, man, I got to do this again. I got to compete. I gotta go back at it. I can't go out with an L like that, especially how I've been feeling these last couple of days, how I've been performing. So one thing led to another, and I was like, man, I'm fighting again, bro. Fuck this. I feel great. Let's go.
Mate, good luck for the show. Good to see you. I got to see it live one day. Respect.
Brother, you have to, bro. If you're in Mississippi ever, man, let us know, man, for the next one.